Evert Hingst became known in Amsterdam not just as a lawyer, but as a man who understood two worlds: the legal system and the criminal underworld. He defended men who were feared across the Netherlands, including members of the Hells Angels, drug traffickers, extortionists, and money launderers. People said he was brilliant, calm, and dangerously confident, the kind of lawyer who could defend the guilty without blinking. But this talent also put him in the shadows of men who trusted no one. Before the underworld touched his life, Hingst was simply an intelligent law student. Professors admired his sharp mind, his ability to argue, and his talent for turning difficult cases into clear explanations. Friends claimed he wanted to fight for justice. But somewhere along the way, he discovered that the criminals who needed lawyers paid more, and paid fast. Money, power, and influence slowly changed the direction of his career. In the early 1990s, Hingst's name appeared alongside notorious figures: drug bosses from the Bruinsma cartel, money launderers, and members of the Hells Angels. When high-profile criminals were arrested, reporters asked one question: is Hingst representing them? His reputation grew. A lawyer who never lost his cool, even while defending men accused of murder. Criminals trusted him because he understood them. He didn't judge, didn't fear, and didn't betray. Many said he knew more secrets than police, judges, or prosecutors. He handled financial cases, drug trafficking files, and weapons charges, all linked to major figures like Willem "The Nose" Holleeder, Sam Klepper, John Mieremet, and the Hells Angels. Knowledge became his power and his danger. Whenever Hingst entered a courtroom, he looked like a man who already knew the outcome. His smooth voice, sharp suits, and ability to twist a case in his client's favor impressed even his enemies. Judges respected him, but the police feared that he knew too much about ongoing investigations. He wasn't just defending criminals. He was almost part of their world. Rumors began circulating that Hingst didn't just represent criminals. He lived too close to their operations. The line between lawyer and associate was becoming blurry. People whispered that he might have helped criminals communicate, hide money, or negotiate deals behind closed doors. Whether true or not, the rumors made him a target from all sides. One of the darkest chapters of his life was his connection to Willem van Boxtel and Louis Hageman of the Hells Angels. These were not ordinary bikers. They were men linked to murders, drugs, and intimidation. Hingst defended several of them, attended their parties, and became too close for comfort. Being the lawyer of the Hells Angels meant one thing: once you were in, it was almost impossible to get out. Hingst became involved in disputes between two feared criminals, Sam Klepper and John Mieremet. These men ran extortion, gambling operations, and international drug connections. When their partnership fell apart, Amsterdam entered one of its deadliest criminal wars. Hingst was stuck in the middle, representing men who wanted each other dead. Hingst handled cases containing millions of euros, drug shipments, offshore accounts, and messages between rivals. People said he had enough information to destroy entire criminal groups. That made him valuable, and also dangerous to the people he represented. By the mid-2000s, something shifted. The criminals he defended no longer saw him as an ally. Instead, they feared he knew too much, talked too much, or might someday work with police. Whether he talked or not didn't matter. Suspicion alone was enough to sign his death warrant. Hingst had money problems. His luxurious lifestyle, expensive habits, and poor financial decisions created enemies even outside the underworld. He owed money. He argued with former clients. Some criminals believed he kept a share of their hidden profits. These tensions made him an easy target for revenge. Things changed drastically when Hingst argued with Willem van Boxtel. The disagreement was serious, possibly involving money or betrayal. In the underworld, arguing with the president of the Hells Angels was like pushing your hand into a lion's mouth. Dutch police approached Hingst multiple times with warnings. They told him his life was at risk, that intelligence sources mentioned his name on hit lists. But Hingst refused protection. He believed he was too smart, too respected, too connected to be killed. This confidence would soon prove fatal. Criminals rarely kill unless they are sure the target has no escape. Anonymous sources later revealed that a hit squad linked to major Amsterdam crime figures began observing Hingst. His home, his car, his office, his routines. They wanted to make the message clear: no lawyer is untouchable. On a quiet street in Amsterdam on November 8, 2004, Hingst parked his car. It was a normal day. He stepped out, maybe thinking about work or debts or another dangerous client. But someone was waiting for him. A shooter walked up to him. Calm, professional, unmasked. Witnesses said the killer didn't hesitate. Several shots were fired. Hingst collapsed by his car door as the gunman disappeared into a getaway vehicle. It was quick, cold, and clearly planned. Amsterdam had seen many murders, but killing a lawyer in daylight was a different message. Newspapers called it the line that should never be crossed. If criminals could assassinate lawyers, then no one, not even the legal system, was safe. Investigators instantly suspected connections to the Hells Angels, Klepper, and Mieremet, or other major Dutch crime syndicates. The list of suspects was long. Too long. Hingst had represented almost every dangerous criminal in the country at some point. The positioning of the shots, the speed of the attack, and the precision showed this wasn't a random shooting. It was the work of professionals, likely a hired killer trusted by someone high in the criminal hierarchy. The Hells Angels insisted they had nothing to do with it. But insiders whispered another story, that Hingst had crossed them, spoken disrespectfully, or revealed sensitive information. Whether true or not, the rumors kept pointing in their direction. Police also investigated if Hingst's death was connected to the feud between Klepper and Mieremet. Both men were notorious for ordering hits on anyone seen as a threat. And in their world, a lawyer who knew too much was a dangerous liability. Many defense lawyers realized they could be next. If criminals killed Hingst, then the boundary between the legal profession and the underworld had officially collapsed. Some lawyers quit. Others hired bodyguards. The fear was real. Newspapers began publishing articles describing him as a lawyer too close to crime, a man who walked into danger willingly. Reporters said he lived like a criminal, partied like a biker, and negotiated like a Mafia consigliere. He had expensive cars, nights in exclusive clubs, and friendships with drug traffickers. People wondered, where did his money come from? Was it legal earnings? Or payments from criminal networks? Old acquaintances came forward after his death, revealing stories about shady deals, threats, and arguments. It became clear that Hingst didn't just defend criminals. He lived inside their world, absorbing their conflicts and enemies. Despite countless suspects, no one was convicted. Everyone had a motive. No one had evidence. Silence ruled the underworld. People knew the truth, but no one dared speak it. The killing showed that Dutch criminal groups were becoming more violent and fearless. If they could murder a lawyer, they could kill anyone: police, judges, journalists. People close to Hingst said he seemed nervous before his death. He avoided certain people, argued with clients, and talked about threats. But he never expected the end would come so quickly. The same information that made him powerful was what made him deadly to criminals. They feared he would talk. They feared he had talked already. Secrets can save you, or bury you. His death became a message. Defend criminals, but don't get too close. Play with fire, but don't stand inside it. Hingst crossed that line, and the underworld punished him. Prosecutors increased security, police expanded investigations, and the government tried to analyze how deep criminal networks had corrupted lawyers. But the damage was done. Anonymous sources later told journalists that Hingst had been marked for death long before the trigger was pulled. They claimed he had angered too many dangerous men: Hells Angels, drug traffickers, extortionists, hitmen. Though never proven, many wondered if Holleeder's network played a role. Holleeder had ordered hits before. His world was filled with revenge and silence. Hingst was connected to too many of Holleeder's enemies. Some believed remnants of Klaas Bruinsma's old cartel, one of the biggest drug empires in Dutch history, were still active and saw Hingst as a threat. His past connections to Bruinsma's associates didn't help him. Hingst enjoyed luxury cars, expensive watches, and exclusive clubs. But these attractions also brought criminals close. Sometimes the things you love are the same things that destroy you. Police believed Hingst managed or moved suspicious money for some criminals. If a lawyer mishandles their money, criminals do not forgive. Some said he stole. Others said he hid things. All these rumors placed a target on his back. A close friend claimed Hingst once said, "Everyone thinks I betrayed someone. Maybe that is enough to kill me." This showed the fear and pressure crushing him at the end. Criminals follow a simple rule: protect secrets. Anyone who knows too many becomes a risk. Hingst became the biggest risk of all. His murder made the Dutch public realize that organized crime wasn't a distant problem. It was inside their city, their courts, their streets. Those close to Hingst still ask, who ordered the hit? Why did it happen? Was he trying to change? Was he planning to expose someone? The answers died with him. After his assassination, debates exploded about how close lawyers could get to criminals without becoming compromised. Hingst became the example people referenced in parliament and legal circles. Many investigative journalists pointed fingers at three groups: Hell's Angels, Klepper, and Mieremet's network, and drug traffickers linked to Bruinsma's empire. But no one was arrested. Fear kept mouths shut. Hingst believed he was too smart to be killed. He believed criminals respected him. But intelligence does not protect you from paranoia, jealousy, or greed. Police believed the shooter knew his location, habits, and movements. That meant the order came from someone close, a former client, friend, or associate. Even inside the biker world, some were shocked. Killing a lawyer was risky, even for them. But others whispered that Hingst talked too much, or played both sides. The sad truth is that some criminals were relieved he was gone. A lawyer with too much knowledge is a danger. His death solved many people's problems. From this moment, the Mafia wars, liquidations, and torture crimes would rise. Hingst's death was one of the early warnings. No justice, no confession, no closure, just silence, the most powerful weapon in the underworld. Evert Hingst remains remembered as a lawyer who could have been great, but chose a world that eventually consumed him. He is a symbol of ambition with no boundaries. His assassination forced lawyers to distance themselves from criminals more carefully. The justice system strengthened protections. But the fear he left behind never fully disappeared. Hingst wanted respect and wealth. But to get these, he entered a world where morality had no meaning. Every step he took into the criminal underworld brought him closer to death. He ignored every threat. He refused police protection. He believed danger was part of his job. But his enemies were far more ruthless than he imagined. The full story of his murder involves powerful criminals, hidden money, and deep betrayals. Revealing the truth could put lives in danger, even today. Witnesses said he looked relaxed that day, walking casually to his car. He didn't know a hitman was waiting. He didn't know it was his last day alive. No shouting, no warning, just gunshots and silence. This was not a messy killing. It was a message, delivered with perfect execution. Hingst was a chess player who believed he controlled the board. But in the end, the real players, the criminals, removed him like a disposable piece. Every year, new investigations mention his name. His connections still appear in cases involving the Mafia, the Hell's Angels, and drug cartels. Hingst was brilliant, but brilliance cannot defeat bullets. His story shows that intelligence without caution can lead to destruction. His murder marked the beginning of a new era of violent gangland killings in the Netherlands. It was one of the earliest signs that organized crime was evolving into something more brutal. In the end, Evert Hingst's life is a tragic lesson. When you defend criminals, you also inherit their enemies. When you learn their secrets, you become part of their world. And in that world, the price of knowing too much is death.